You are looking at my beautiful study space. But I didn't just want to brag to you about how gorgeous my study space is. In part two, in this video, I want to show you a couple more functions within Google Slides and go over a couple of things you'll be doing in your own project. The first tip I want to give is how to duplicate slides. Now, what you're looking at here is my study space. It's nice and big, you can see. But in the top left corner, you see a really tiny image of my study space. That is called a thumbnail, a mini image of the slide. To make a duplicate or copy of my study space, I right-click on the thumbnail and I choose Duplicate Slide. Now look in the top left. You see I have two identical copies of my study space. Why is this helpful? This can be helpful because, as you can see, I put some time into making this study space. And maybe if I were to keep working on it, I add a bunch, I take some out, I change a lot, and I decide, I don't like everything I've done. I wish I could go back. Well, if you've made a copy of that slide, now you can. Because I can just delete the one I don't like, and boom, the original is still preserved. The original before I made all those changes is saved because I had made a duplicate or copy of my slide before I started experimenting. So that's a helpful tip. One other tip I want to share is how to add links to objects or elements in your room, links to different websites on the internet. So for instance, you'll see my computer here. If I were to click this link, that would take me to my Google Classroom. I have put a link into that computer. Let's see how to do it. On the right side of my room here is an old school radio, and I want to add a link to this radio, which takes me to one of my favorite songs. So what I'll do is I'll pull up a website with my favorite song. It's on YouTube. I'll look at the link and copy it with Control C. I'll select the link and do Control C. Now back to my study space, and I will click the item I want linked. So I'll click the radio. Now I go up to Insert, and I choose Link. To finish, I'll do Control V to paste that link right here and hit Apply. There. Now, if someone were to click the radio, look at that. There is a link to a music video of one of my favorite jazz musicians, Miles Davis. Okay. Another tip I want to show, I already showed you how to flip an object. So look at my chair right here. I could flip the object. I already showed you this by right-clicking it and doing Rotate, Flip Horizontal. I also showed you how to move objects forwards or backwards by right-clicking and going to Order. And I could do Bring to Front, Send to Back. But there's something else I can do. I can recolor an object. Maybe I don't like this blue color of the chair. I can right-click my chair and go to Format Options. If I click Format Options, there's actually a lot of different things I can do to experiment. So I'd encourage you to look around and see what some of the different functions and format options are. But specifically for recoloring, if I choose the Recolor button, there's a drop-down menu here. And look at all these different colors I can pick. Maybe I don't like the blue, I want a black chair, right? There it is. My chair is now black. Okay. One final thing I want to show you. You might have noticed there's a second slide here. You're going to do some expository writing. This is mine. Expository writing means writing that explains something else. Or in this case, explaining why you built your study space the way you did. Explaining different objects and their meaning. So in your very own project, you're going to have a second slide where you're going to do some writing. I'll make sure that I'll give you a link to my very own study space so you can look at the study space itself and how I set it up. But you'll also be able to look at my expository writing. It's color writing. you'll see there's 8 to 10 sentences with 2 pieces of evidence. My evidence just being 2 different items in my room that I talk about. So my first piece of evidence is talking about how I put a kitten in my room, and my second piece of evidence in green is talking about some of my favorite books that are in my room. Okay? We've gone over some more functions in Google Slides and talked expository writing. You can rewatch these videos. You can go to my own study space to look more closely at some of the things I've done. Can't wait to look at your work. Good luck.